Welcome back to WTF Sports. We're going to hop right into an off-season free agency ranking video. So let's just hop right into it.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing this one on a tier list format, which is not necessarily like typical to our style, but it doesn't really matter because we're in control of what we do. And also, yeah, sorry for the lack of posting recently. We've been busy with work and life and other stuff, so we're going to try to get back into it, but we're gonna try to get back. We're gonna try to post as much as we can still. But yeah, we're gonna start off with the first team on our list here, and that is the Buffalo Bills, right? So when you're looking at the Bills this year, they signed Josh Allen to a $330 million 6-year contract, which I think is a great contract for him. About time they locked him in. But other than him, like they got Joey Bosa.
They got Josh Palmer. They extended Khalil Shakir,
Which
so
it's a good extension, I believe.
yeah, I would say that's good. They signed Larry Ogunjobi, which is actually funny because the Bears tried to sign him a few years ago, and he failed the physical, so did not end up getting signed with the Bears.
Mm-mm.
So
and don't forget the Damar
Uh,
Hamlin re-signing for a year. My man.
$2 million.
But yeah, Joey,
honestly,
they released what's his name, Von Miller,
yeah, they did
Yeah.
release Von Miller,
and they replaced
so,
him with Joey Bosa, which I think is, I think that's good. Personally,
Yep.
I don't see an issue with that. And I'd have to say for the Bills, what do we want to do? Do you want to give them
It's like B.
B or C?
'Cause
Let's go B.
Obviously they locked in Josh Allen, but they still have a wide receiver problem in my opinion.
Yeah, they don't have any. They still don't have a clear cut one.
And then wide receiver threes.
Yeah, Shakir's a high end wide receiver too.
I would say Shakir is a wide receiver 2, just flat, but that might just be me. He looks like a wide receiver 1 because of the fact that there's not an elite player
Maybe.
on that team. But I think that they still have that problem. Though Joey Bosa is a good addition. We'll see. He's not quite the same player he used to be, but
I mean,
yeah,
they
I'd
had
say
Von Miller and
that
he
B's
worked,
were-
so it should work. But yeah, moving on to our next team, we have the Miami Dolphins. And when you look at what the Dolphins have done, that's not the most exciting. No real big names other than quarterback Zach Wilson. Woo!
Yeah, all right.
Uh,
He gets another chance maybe sometime down the future if
when Tua gets injured, because it's bound to happen. I mean, yeah.
So
And I
see,
mean,
I don't know. They don't really have. I mean, they got Nick Westbrook-Akine, who
He's-
had
a decent season.
he was leading the league. He was in
Was
the
he?
top top wide receivers, and not leading the league necessarily, but he was in the top wide receivers with touchdowns.
Oh shoot. Well, now he's
Though
gonna
he
be
did not have nearly as many yards as anybody else.
Yeah, he's
but,
gonna be what, their wide receiver 3.
yeah. Which I think he's actually a good player. He's sort of
No,
he's
he
sort of
is
coming
solid.
but he's there. Other than that, there's not much. I'd say.
Oh, Tyrell Dodson. Dodson was pretty solid. Is that the same Dodson the Seahawks had? I think it is.
I don't know.
Because they dropped. I don't know if that's the same Dodson that the Seahawks had. He was solid.
2-year deal.
2-year deal. Yeah.
Okay. So I would say probably like a C or a D, but
I
they
want to
haven't
go D because they didn't really address any issues. They didn't sign a run. I mean, their running backs are decent, but I feel like they're both kind of injury prone. I feel like A-Chain's been injured a little bit. I think Tyreek Hill they haven't done anything with yet. And I know he's a mess. So
Yeah.
we're gonna go. I think D is suitable.
I think D is suitable
Yep.
for them.
And then our next team is the what should be America's team, and that is the New England Patriots. Now this team is they've made a lot of moves. Now they still need to address. I mean, their entire offense, if we're being 100% honest, but they signed Josh Dobbs. He's gonna be their backup. I mean, there's no way they're starting him over Drake May. They got an okay receiver in Matt Collins. He's gonna be okay, I mean, better than what the Patriots had.
Yeah, though I do think that they still have a problem there. I expect the Patriots to go after Cup or uh, Keenan Allen. Maybe. Well, no, Keenan Allen won't go there. So
Yeah, they're I mean, they're definitely gonna draft a receiver. There's no way they settle for Mac Hollins, pretty much.
yeah, they can't. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, they added Harold Landry and Milton Williams, which I think that they overpaid both of those guys. But they had the money to spend, so they went
Yeah,
out there and got him. They also overpaid Carlton Davis,
yeah,
who
60.
was okay for the Lions, but he he's old. He's older, and he got $60 million on 3 years, $20 million a year.
Yeah, he's getting his money.
That's a lot, dude.
I mean, I don't know the way I was saying this to Mason because when we were seeing all these coming through, we were kind of saying like, yeah, they overpaid a lot of people, but like my reasoning behind it was like they were so bad that like let them spend the money just so maybe they can at least feel like they're doing something right. You know, like sympathy.
Yeah, I would say that they had an okay offseason.
Yeah, I would.
Like maybe like CB,
You,
BC,
you're thinking in that.
sort of level. I think, yeah,
I
I think it's somewhere there.
I want to say low B because they haven't addressed their
Yeah,
offense, but defensively, I think they've significantly improved their defense.
yeah. I do
They
think that
just have
Milton,
no
there is
offense.
not a lot of tape on Milton Williams, and they signed him $20 or
20 bucks a
$20 million.
year. What
Yeah, $20 a year
what a
would be crazy.
contract! And then the final team out of the AFC North, I think, right? Yeah, the AFC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or AFC or East. My
The
bad.
AFC East, yeah, look at that. I don't know what I'm talking about. Final team is the New York Jets. Now this is a team that they've traded what, like their top two corners, other than or their I guess second and third best, other than Sauce, or
Yeah.
maybe just I don't know. But they've been making a lot of weird moves defensively. But they signed Justin Fields, 2-year, $20 million a year deal. I think that's a good sign. I like Justin Fields. I think that's a good signing.
I love Justin Fields. I'm a Bears fan. If you
Yeah,
guys don't know that,
yeah. If you don't know,
um, finally, it's time for him to have a chance. I think he's got a decent offense around him. He's got to get.
he played
obviously
with
another
Garrett
wide-
Wilson in college, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a
Yeah.
good connection there.
And their center. He played with their center and one of their tight ends. So
So yeah, I mean, it should work there. They got new coach. I mean, I don't think the Jets are going to be a phenomenal team, but I think they could be like better, way better than they were this year.
yeah, I do think they lost people
Yeah, they lost,
on their
and
defense.
yeah, it's just
But
it's still a mess. But I mean, hey, they might actually use their run game right because they had two phenomenal running backs and just barely used them.
yeah,
So
I think Braylon is actually going to emerge as a
I
starter. So
yeah, he's really good. I really like him. But I think honestly, I want to say because the Jets addressed their big issue, which is their quarterback, obviously, I want to put them here because like
Yeah,
they made some rough moves defensively, but other than
that was that was the biggest thing that they could have done right there is sign a quarterback, a young one,
yeah,
hopefully to bridge them or prove that he can be a long-term starter. But
yeah.
yeah,
And
I'm just happy Phil's got the bag. So
I want to add this too. S tier is like a perfect off season. A tier is like pretty much perfect. B tier is like they've been good, just for like a reference on stuff like that. Now moving on to the next team, we're moving to the AFC North now, and we're starting with the Ravens. Right?
yeah,
They have
I
made
mean,
3, and that's it.
3 moves.
3 moves.
But I think that you can justify that considering that their roster is pretty full.
It's and it's. I mean,
The
they're
cap space is hard to come by over there in Baltimore right now.
And in all fairness,
So-
they have, I would say, not to say perfect roster, but like all around, they're really good. Like, there's not much to fix.
Their biggest contract went to Ronnie Stanley, which was an extension, and he is one of the best tackles in the league.
So it makes sense.
We'll take that. I would say that they get probably a B. I mean, like for what they had, what they could do.
Yeah, I'd say B. I'd put him. Well, because what they signed D Hop as well, which we didn't mention, and that's not a huge signing because he's kind of fallen off, but it does help with
Very
their depth, which in my opinion is
yes.
important. So I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him above the Jets, below the Bills, because D Hop was 1 year. They re-signed their fullback Ricard to another year, and their tackle for 3. So and nothing crazy, but I think B is solid for what they've done.
Yeah.
The next up is the Bengals, and
Yep.
they've had a lot of signings and really weird stuff. First of all, Sam Hubbard retired,
Yep.
and then their star, huh?
Trey Hendrickson wants out.
Yeah, he's seeking a trade. So I mean, they're it's an interesting loss on their defense. And then you look at their offense; they signed Samaje Perine, or I don't know how to say it. I was just
Piran, yeah.
Yeah, from the
Samaje
Chiefs.
Piran, I believe, is returning. I think he played for the Bengals a few years ago. I believe it was in the year of their Super Bowl run, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, my theory.
He had been on the field before, I believe.
Yeah, I think he'll be the backup. I think Chase Brown's locked in for the starter. He's been really good in my opinion. I had him in fantasy, so he treated me well.
Not big name like free agency signings, but a lot of re-signings like Mike Gesicki and
Yeah, so they got
T.
3
Higgins. They gave for
Again?
the second year in a row.
He's probably not happy for that. But I mean, he's getting paid $26 million, so I wouldn't complain that much.
Yeah, I mean BJ Hill comes back for $33 million for 3 years. Decent contract. He's getting older, but yeah, not too much going on there. I would give them probably like a C.
Yeah, I'll say C. I'm seeing a lot of defensive sided signings there, so I mean, it's what they need. Offensively speaking, I think the Bengals are nearly perfect, so
yeah,
you do what they must.
I agree.
Speaking of the Bengals, I saw some mock trade on Instagram that was like Joe Burrow for like what would you get for trade for Joe? Like you can't. He's like 3 firsts, maybe, and more.
I don't see how he would want out because he has Jamar Chase. I think that
He's playing with one of his best friends.
Um,
And what's the trade package for Burrow and Jamar Chase? This just doesn't exist. Now, a team that is, we're doing the Browns. Now they gave up Dorian Thomas Robinson, who I think looked okay. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe not. And
he was not that good, but
who would they get though? And a fifth for Kenny Pickett.
And a fifth. Kenny Pickett.
For Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett.
The biggest 5th round pick fleece I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I mean they could have just traded the 5th for him and got him, or they could have just traded Dorian Thomas. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that I think Kenny Pickett is better than Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I know that he is.
Yeah, and he has starting experience, but
my problem with this is a 5th round pick for a guy that is not a starter, and quite frankly hasn't looked great.
No, he hasn't looked good in his entire career. And
like, if it was a 6th or a 7th, I'd be okay. But you traded a pick and a player.
Yeah, a young player too.
Yeah,
and I want to say,
so
if you're getting Kenny Pickett, just re-sign Jameis Winston and start him again. Like,
and by the way, this happened after they got bent over by Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, their 4-year extension, $123 million guaranteed. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's kind of insane. Average per salary, $40 million a year.
Okay, so you know what happened? I actually saw this. Adam Schefter reported this. He was like, so the Browns came to Myles and they were like, how much would it take to get you to give up on your Super Bowl dreams? And he said $39 million a year.
That's great. I mean, hey, he's getting his money.
They gave him 40. They gave him 40.
Honestly, at that point, I would give up on my Super Bowl dreams too. You're making like probably $100,000 a minute. You're out on the field.
You're setting your family off for like years.
Generations. You're fine.
Generations.
Every year, you're like 3 generations down. They don't got to worry about it. So at that point, I mean, hey, Myles Garrett got his bag. Browns, they didn't. It's not a bad signing because it's Myles Garrett, but like, there goes a lot of money. And then
Yeah.
they've signed 3 other people. None of them are really notable names, I think.
Yeah.
Joe Tyron, I'm not even going to try to say that. Malik Collins and Devin Bush. I think this is a classic Browns offseason, unlike none other that we would put in
I
the F
think that.
tier.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because, like, the Myles Garrett signing, like, yeah, he's getting an extension, but it's so much money.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane. Next up is the Steelers, though. And Steelers have had... Break.
Can we pause real quick? Brooklyn is getting me pants set.
Yeah, for the Steelers, they've had a solid offseason, I would say. Pretty good,
Yeah, I would say,
actually, yeah.
okay.
Like, Mason Rudolph, I'm willing to bet he's their quarterback right now. And he's not
As of right now.
he's not amazing, but he's not horrible. I mean, he's okay. He was with them before, and he was okay, and he was okay on the Titans, so he's going to be okay. Kenneth Gainwell, and I don't know, he's just going to be there.
He's okay.
Jalen Warren's going to be their one because Najee Harris is gone. DK Metcalf got traded there for a second,
Second-round pick.
which
And there's rumors of the Packers offering a first.
you don't have to tell me that. But
No, I do think that the Seahawks were thinking like keep it out of conference.
that would make sense.
So, yeah.
But yeah, now we have
Anyways.
DK and George Pickens on the same team.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
there's
interesting.
that. And then they also signed Darius Slay, which
Which
is
is
actually
big,
a pretty good signing. 1 year, $10 million deal for a pretty good quarterback. So
I mean, so this should be a nice. I want to say A tier
I would say it's here. They did a good job.
because they didn't really. I mean, I think the Steelers are kind of like the Ravens, where they're pretty solid all around. It's just
Now
this,
all they need to do is figure out quarterback.
yeah. Which if Mason Rudolph is their QB, he'll be. I mean, if they draft a guy, let him sit for a year behind Rudolph.
Yeah.
I don't think that's horrible. But yeah, moving on. We're next third division. We're on the AFC South now, starting with the Texans. Now the Texans have had quite a few trades this year, and
I would say it's questionable.
yeah, they've
how they're
traded away quite a few people. They like their linemen, but they've got some. They got like what a second, third, fourth, and fifth for Tunsil.
Yeah.
So
So I do think that they flipped the Jaguars out of Christian Kirk.
Yeah,
but
'cause-
not really. I think it's really weird that situation is because if I was the Texans, I would have let Christian Kirk hit the market.
yeah, and just signed him. But then there's also the chance he could have got offered more somewhere else. So
I doubt that he got offered $14 million anywhere else.
that's crazy. Well, yeah. So
He's being paid $16 million right now.
yeah,
I doubt he was making more than $14 million anywhere else.
I
So
guess.
if you hit the market, you save money, in my opinion. But
So yeah, but when we look at this quick, the Texans have signed 3 wide receivers, and Stephon Diggs is still a free agent, right?
he is.
Ooh, I wonder where he'll end up. But Kirk, Braxton Berrios, and Justin Watson. So Justin Watson and Braxton Berrios are okay, nothing crazy. Kirk's going to be the highlight of the 3, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's more just to because when their wide receivers were out last year, it was just horrible. They had no one, so I think it's just to kind of add on to that. C.J. Gardner Johnson. That's actually a really good pickup.
Okay. I would say it's an okay pickup.
Let's
He's got an
trade
attitude
them.
issue.
Yeah, he's decent. He's good.
But they traded Kenyon Green
Yeah.
for like. All right, so last year their problem was offensive line.
Yeah. C.J. Stroud's second most sacked.
They've traded Laramie Tunsil and Kenyon Green.
They're 2 better starters.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So it's like, what are we doing?
yeah, they're kind of
don't know.
sacrificing a lot.
I don't know. So we'll see how that goes. This year might be worse
Yeah.
for the Texans.
I will say though, like
Um,
their management's been good in past years. So there's probably a vision that we just don't see. But
Yeah.
I mean,
But I'd say again, I'd put them at a D right now.
yeah, I
This
would
is-
say D. They haven't really addressed anything or they've sacrificed their O line to fix their team. I just don't think that's the way to go when your O line was already being bad. So I think D is
Yeah.
fine. It could get better. And, hey, if you disagree with that, any of these opinions, let us know in the comments because you guys like to do that, and it's awesome. Next team though is the Colts. Colts have their
Yeah, the Colts.
Colts signed the best quarterback in the free agency market this year, that being Daniel Jones for $14 million, 13 of it
Yeah,
guaranteed.
I do think that they have made good moves. I like Khalil
Yeah.
Herbert signing.
Oh,
He
wow. He left the
with
Bears. Oh no, he was on the Bengals.
yeah, he traded to the Bengals. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I like that move. Um
Tre'Davious Ward.
I like Char-
Tre'Davious. Yeah, Tre'Davious Ward. That's a really good signing.
I like Cameron Bynum. I think that they made good moves. Daniel Jones, believe it or not, Brody, I think it was a good move.
I mean,
Um,
I think better than Anthony Richardson, 100%. And we didn't
because
say that in our quarterback ranking video, but
I don't think that he's better than Anthony Richardson. But when you look at who you have right now in your quarterback room, you have Anthony Richardson in no real way of getting a younger quarterback in as of right now. So if Anthony Richardson isn't the answer, who are you going to play?
that's true. Yeah. I guess yeah.
Daniel Jones has made the playoffs before. Like it's crazy to say.
That's a
He's
Giants
been in the
fan
playoffs.
argument, but I respect it.
He's won a playoff game.
Yeah. Yes, he has.
I don't think he's good, right? But he's also young. He's not old.
So yeah, he's a good
I
backup
I think he's perfect backup. Perfect
or
backup,
starter.
in my opinion.
I'm assuming they're gonna have a battle for starting, but I don't think it's gonna
Yeah,
be
we'll see.
clean cut. But yeah, for the Colts, I think giving them a B, upper B,
Yeah, low B,
low B,
low B.
above the Patriots.
Yeah.
So Patriots are
I like, but
yeah. It's like we'll go low B. They addressed their defense, that's for sure. Their pass defense is horrendous. But then moving on to the
Yeah.
Titans, right? Now the Titans, they have made a
no, we're
no, it's fine.
Okay.
I have them next up on a thing. We're just gonna do the Titans. They made a few signings, no huge names that I recognize.
I do think they overpaid Dan Moore, but
We're paying what 20.5 mil a year. That's kind of crazy.
yeah, for a tackle, that was okay. It's very weird. I think that's probably more than an overpay, like a little bit more than an overpay. It's a lot of money for a guy that's been okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
but
other
honestly,
than that, nothing crazy. And
yeah, they haven't really done much. I would say they might be a D.
I think D.
I think that this
Yeah,
this
I
is
I can
one of the worst ones. we've
agree
done.
on D tier there. Put them below the Texans because they're teetering on F for sure. But the next up, last team of this division is the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have, they signed Nick Mullins to a 2-year deal. That's pretty good. De'Ami Brown, 2 tight ends. Johnny
De'Ami
Munt.
Brown, I think is actually a
No,
good
yeah,
signing.
De'Ami Brown is pretty good.
I think that they've done okay. I do think that they are.
They're still looking
I
rough.
don't know. Well, they're still looking rough.
I wonder if they're gonna. I don't know.
Back up, he can games, but I don't know. I think that this one might be low D too.
Yeah, we'll put him right above the we'll put him above the Titans, right there. Nothing crazy. Now we're getting on to some of the teams. And I think from here on it gets not for the most part looking at this team right here, but other than these guys, it gets decent. So this next team, the Broncos. I think the Broncos have had one of the better off seasons in my opinion.
I would say that if I were to be the one ranking, I don't know, because I am, but
Look at that.
I would give them an A. I would give them an A.
I would say
think that
high A, close to S.
high A. I would say close to S. I think that they got Drake Greenlaw and Talanoa Hufanga, who were studs on the Niners.
Yeah, and that's
And they got Evan Ingram. But like most of their other signings are sort of just like backup depth type deals.
yeah, and I do think
Or, like
their running back issues really bad too right now. They just
so I think that
don't.
they need to be fixed. So
Yeah, so I think that's the only thing with holding them from being S tier, is no running back signed, or there's really no running backs to sign at this
I
point.
wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I would just say I think that they had a really good off season. I do think that they could have done more, but
Yeah.
I don't know what their cap situation's like
Yeah,
right
I
now,
think it
so
was
maybe not.
bad. Maybe I don't really remember. I don't know. They've signed they signed Dre Greenlaw and another guy from the Niners. They have good cap space. Next up though is the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chokes, right? You can call them that if you want. No one ever does, because why would they? Right? They signed Elijah Mitchell to a 1-year deal. Marquise Brown got re-signed for another 1-year contract. They franchise tagged Trey Smith, which is good for them.
Yeah, which was sort of like surprising considering they didn't really have much cap space to do that, but
Yeah,
it's okay.
they re-signed Nick Bolton too. That's a big one.
Nick Bolton was huge. Christian Fulton, I don't even remember.
That's not a name I recognize. Long snapper, hell yeah! Congrats to him.
Yep,
1.65.
they got. Yep, I think that they did okay. I don't think that they did anything extravagant.
I want to put him.
Besides Smith, I would give him a C.
Yeah, I was gonna say right there, right below the Bengals. Bengals at least
Yep.
locked in a tight end for them. It was decent.
Yeah.
Chiefs did nothing crazy. Now the Raider. Oh my lord, we're keeping that in. Now the Raiders. I just can't speak.
Interesting.
They've had an off season. I'd say it's
So
good. Like
yeah, I think it's pretty decent. Geno Smith acquired in a trade. I do think that a third round pick is a little rich.
yeah, I would
For
say a
Geno
fourth.
Smith.
A fourth would have made a little more sense. Maybe.
But I know Brody's happy. He got a free third.
Oh yeah,
Basically.
pretty much. Because I was not. I don't like Geno, but I do think he's going to be good for the Raiders considering who they had before, and also his connection with Pete Carroll. This helps.
Yeah. They signed Raheem Mostert, so maybe they rock with him this year instead of drafting Ashton Genty so he can fall to the Bears.
Maybe. I don't think they were going to draft. I would think they're going to take a quarterback, let him sit behind Geno.
Well, there's not really a quarterback for them to take. I think that Cam
Wait,
Ward.
where are they at? Are they at 6?
6, yeah.
Oh, I thought they were at like 4. Never mind.
Yeah, they're at 6.
Yeah,
So I
so-
think that they're going to be out of a quarterback by then. So, anyways, Max Crosby got extended. That was huge.
He got his money, and that's a good signing. That's not like he got 30. What is it? 35.
$35.5 million a year.
Yeah, which is a lot, but 40. It's not 40 million a year for Myles Garrett. Even then, I mean, they're like the same caliber defensive end. So
Yeah, I would say that actually the Raiders have had a C-level offseason.
C?
They have.
I want to go higher.
You want to go higher? I'd say like B.
Yeah, I want to
I'd
say
like B. I think
above the Jets, because Jeremy Chin too. He's decent. He's a salt. Like they addressed their pass game. They signed 2 safeties and a cornerback. They signed a linebacker. So I think putting them around here is a solid.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, actually.
They've done good. They got their quarterback fixed. Their issue is their wide receivers are okay, but they're still very mediocre. They still have one of the best tight ends in the league though. And next up, speaking about teams that had wide receiver issues, we're talking about the Chargers, right? Now the Chargers are a team that have done quite a lot actually. A lot more than I thought they did. And starting that is by signing a power back to go with John Harbaugh's offense, and that's Najee Harris to a 1-year deal.
With $5.25 million, actually pretty cheap based off what I thought he was going to get. But,
Yeah, it's a
but
solid.
A max 9.25 is a lot.
Yeah.
$3.75 million signing bonus. That's a lot of money.
It is, just for being there.
back.
And then
Yeah, so-
re-signing Mike Williams is kind of funny, in my opinion.
I like that, though.
I do. I think he's
good.
good. Yeah. They just need a receiver. And he's
So-
better than Quentin Johnson. Still can't catch. So, and Jalen Reagor got re-signed. He's okay. He's pretty solid.
He's not.
Oh, really?
He's not.
I might be. Oh, I'm thinking of Jalen McMillan. My bad.
No, he's not anything good. Yeah,
Whoops.
he stinks.
Yeah.
But Khalil Mack re-signing
Which
with
is-
them
it's big.
basically. Yeah, we knew that when they released Joey Bosa, that meant that they were probably going to keep Khalil. So that happened. And besides that, I mean,
They signed a
there's
bunch
not a
of.
whole lot going on there.
They signed
like-
3 corners and 2 linebackers.
Yeah.
I mean, they signed a lot of defensive guys, which I feel like their defense was already really good.
Yeah, but I feel like okay, a lot of these defensive guys are
Just depth.
depth
Yeah.
pieces.
Which I mean, that's fine. I think that's still smart. And
2 year, 5.5 million for Troy Dye.
yeah, so it is. I think for the depth though, we gotta. I think I don't. I want to say low B.
Yeah,
I think
I would say look,
I'm thinking yeah low B. I want to
I
say
do
below
level.
them because they were signing more starters. They were signing more
Yeah,
backups. Now the Cowboys. This one will be nice, short, simple. It should be.
yeah. I mean,
They wow, they've made a lot more
re-sign.
signings than I thought.
Yeah. Look at. They all say re-signing because it's all people that were already on the team. Okay.
Yeah, I mean
So
the biggest name is really Javonte Williams
and he was
with the Broncos for 3. I mean he's okay. We got to mention too that they lost DeMarcus Lawrence to the Seahawks.
yeah.
I don't know if there's no way they can pay CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, and Dak Prescott
I don't know.
if they want other players on their team.
I have no idea.
So,
Jerry Jones has been firmly against free agency for years. Like they haven't signed a player over $10 million on average per year since 2015.
yeah, it makes no sense to me. And I think for that we got to put him right here.
Yeah,
No,
I
no,
agree.
we got to put him here.
I feel like every offseason has been an F for the Cowboys.
Yeah, they're
since,
so
or every free agency.
yeah, I don't know, it's just so Cowboys. Like next up, we got the Giants, though, a team that I mean they have some bright spots, and the one place they don't have a bright spot in the slightest is their quarterback right now, which they re-signed Tommy DeVito to a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
They're gonna draft a guy, so it's I mean, you're expecting that, but still,
We'll see.
and they're gonna pay Darius Slayton $36 million and not
They're
Saquon.
They're meeting with Russ.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I still think they would take a rookie though, have sit behind Russ.
maybe.
If they sign Aaron
but-
Rodgers, that's gonna be so funny.
Yeah.
Um,
So, but I will say I see here that they re-signed Amir Smith Marset, which I remember a game where he played for the Bears, where he completely fumbled the game away and got cut the day after.
so that's a giant sign. I still don't understand them paying Darius Slayton and not Saquon Barkley, but you know what?
Yeah.
Do what you want.
And Austin Adebo is a good signing. I would give the Giants a D.
A D, yeah. I mean, isn't Javon Holland? He's solid, right? Javon Holland.
Yeah, I would
Him
give.
and-
I would give. Oh, maybe a high D, like top of the.
Yeah, we'll put him above the Dolphins. Oh, whoops! I had y'all mixed up. There we go. My bad. I forgot to change that. We'll put him above the Dolphins though. Next up's a team that they've done like nothing this offseason. And that's the Eagles. They
I mean,
like not
what is
much.
there to do? They
Their team is perfect.
ended
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley. They extended Zach Vaughn or re-signed him. And he earned his bag that he deserved. And then they signed Josh Uche, who came from the. Originally, the Patriots got traded to the Chiefs, and then is now signing with the Eagles.
He
I
was
think he's a
decent, right?
player.
Yeah, for 1.75 million.
Yeah, he's a decent player. Definitely a depth piece though, like a rotation guy.
Yeah,
but
which is good for
that's
them
exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles are looking for.
because they did lose a couple D linemen to either free agency or retirement. And
Yeah,
they I mean
so-
they signed AJ Dillon. It's whatever.
Yeah,
They got Kenyon Green
Yeah.
too, which he's
yeah, we'll see how that goes. Which he'll probably replace Mekhi Becton, who
Yeah.
is still a free agent at this point. So
and yeah, I think honestly for them, I want to give them the same kind of treatment as the Ravens. They don't have much to improve, but they improved where they could. So I'm gonna put them
Yeah,
below them though because they did lose some big pieces on defense, like Gardner Johnson, Darius Slayton, not Darius Slayton, Darius Slay,
yeah,
I think. And then now we're moving on to
To
a
the
team.
Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders. They've
Alright.
they
Now,
they got a
now-
decent offseason.
It's been okay.
Yeah.
This is my problem with them.
Let's hear it.
They have made a lot of moves, but I see one move that like just completely ruins their offseason for me.
Which is that?
D lineman Javon Kinlaw 3-year, $45 million deal.
Ooh,
Okay.
interesting.
Javon Kinlaw has not been successful anywhere he has been. Like, not even good. Like, he's been serviceable maybe, but not good. And he's getting $15 million a year.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
A lot of money. I don't like that move. Though I do like the trade for Deebo Samuel. I think they needed him.
Yeah, it's going to be a helpful piece. McNichols.
Re-signing Bobby Wagner was something that had to happen.
Yeah, same with Ertz.
So,
I think Ertz is a solid re-sign.
yeah.
I think
So-
the McNichols re-sign is solid. He's a decent running back.
I think that
And Marcus,
besides that,
Mariota's a good backup. I mean, they did a lot of good depth. Trading for Lermy Tunsil was solid. I mean, it should be solid.
yeah,
They traded what they trade
Larry McTunsell was a good move. I think
Yeah.
that was a
for a
good move.
third
Yeah.
and seventh,
Man,
and a
I would just
second
have to
and
probably
ooh,
put them at a C. A C would probably be because I think the Javon Kinlaw deal is weighing it down.
yeah, and they gave up a third and seventh, a third, a second, a third, a fourth, and a seventh for
Yeah.
Tunsil and a fourth.
Yeah. So I just think
So yeah,
it's a lot.
It is
so
a
I
lot.
think that a C is good for me.
put them above the Chiefs because the Chiefs didn't really do much. So I think
All right.
now
Now it's on Chicago Bears.
I think this one, and yeah, it's definitely a little biased because Mason's a Bears fan, but it's really not at all. The Bears, I think are the easiest S on here.
But yeah, I don't know if you can argue, okay, that the Bears have done a worse job than anybody at going after what they need. I think that them trading for 2 guards showed an automatic change in how everything was working in Chicago. Instead of just going after whoever, they went after two guys that had the experience in this league. Joe Tooney has 3 Super Bowl
4 Super
wins?
Bowls.
4 Super Bowl wins.
Yeah.
Or he's been to 4 Super Bowls.
Was that what it was?
3.
Interesting. And Jonah Jackson he's a an All Pro or
Two-time Pro Bowler.
Pro Bowler? Yeah.
So
Not to mention Drew
I
Dahlman too.
Drew
They
Dahlman
signed
was
him.
signed. So 3 interior offensive linemen as 3 interior starters before the draft, which shows that they are trying to open up their draft board. Hopefully we can get Genty. I want Genty badly.
I think that'd be a nice draft.
But on top of that, they signed 25-year-old Deo Odangbo, I think is how you say his name. I forget. But he has shown a lot of upside. I do think we overpaid a little bit.
Where's he coming from?
He's coming from the Colts.
Oh, they're that guy.
So, but he's young. He's 25 years old. He's a Dennis Allen like scheme fit type guy, and they believe that he's gonna fill that second edge rusher role for Montez Sweat. So, yeah, that was a great signing in my opinion. I think that he's good, and I think it's even better that we signed Grady Jarrett after him.
Yeah, it's just
because it's been insane. I've really enjoyed free agency as a Bears fan because
it's only been good news.
These aren't huge names, but they're big pieces. So,
and then not to mention a depth tight end just to help out.
Yeah,
Durham Scythe. I don't know.
Durham
Smith.
Smythe. He's a blocking tight end, which is what we needed. We just needed somebody that can block because Mercedes is not coming back.
Yeah, he's like 90. But yeah, I think Bears are going to be the first team on here that we give a S tier rating to. I think it's well deserved. I mean they
3P offseason champs.
Yeah.
So
who knows what's going to happen in the regular season? But yeah, moving on from them, we got the Lions, right? I don't think the Lions have had the greatest
Me neither.
offseason.
I think that their only decent deal was DJ Reed.
Yeah, and I will say this too, though. The Lions are in a situation where they like also kind of have a perfect roster, but you got to look at what they lost. They lost Carlton Davis. They lost one of their linemen, right?
Kevin Zeitler.
Yeah,
left.
he's gone. And they've lost.
A lot.
I almost want to put him in D tier
Taylor Decker is gone. I would say D tier too. I think that their off season has been very limited due to how their Super Bowl window is closing, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So,
and they haven't signed any coaches yet.
yep.
So I mean,
They
have they?
Yeah.
Oh my bad.
They've got their offensive and defensive coordinators.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, never mind then. But still, I think they just haven't done anything of note, or like they've lost more and they haven't really filled those spots.
Yeah.
They're still going to be good. I mean, like their offense is still stacked, but and their defense is still phenomenal too. They're not going to be bad. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying that they haven't improved in the ways that these teams up here have, especially not these upper end teams.
Yeah.
And then next up is the Packers, which is another team that
I honestly think
made not many moves.
that with the little moves they made, I think they made the right move with re-signing Brandon McManus.
I did. I think he was a great kicker.
He served them well. Though I do think that Nate Hobbs, 4 years, $48 million, $16 million guaranteed. Though it's not that big. Though I do think that the Aaron Banks signing is a huge overpay. I mean, almost $20 million a year for a guard that didn't prove himself.
And he's coming from where?
He's coming from San Fran.
Ooh.
Whose offensive line struggled, by the way.
Yeah.
Big time.
Other than whatever his name is, right? Their tackle.
Trent Williams, who was hurt.
Yeah.
A lot. So I think that they almost belong in F tier. They have not done anything good, in my opinion. Besides re-sign Brandon McManus, and he's a kicker, so it doesn't hold much weight. But I do think that they did better than the other two.
Yeah, these two are just horrible. Yeah. But then next up we got the Vikings, which is the final team from the NFC North, and they have made they made a lot of signings. Holy crap.
Yeah, they've done a lot of stuff. Okay. I think that they very, very overpaid some of these guys. Like Jonathan Allen got a lot more money than I thought he was gonna get.
Yeah.
$1 million a year is ridiculous.
I mean, if you look at who they signed Ryan Kelly, he's obviously one of the better centers in the league.
Yeah.
One of the better of all time, right? Maybe. I don't know. I just know the name. I've heard that
Ryan
name a
Kelly
lot.
is a good center.
Yeah.
He's a decent center. He's like a serviceable guy.
And for 2 years, $9 million a year is not bad.
Yeah. Like he's older, so he's not going to be a long-term option, but he's good.
Yeah, and then Will
Fries is a big question mark. You want so he had an amazing 5 games last season. And then he broke his tibia? Well, one of them. But before that he was an average to below average guard. And he got a 5-year, $88 million deal.
Yes,
so
they're paying him a lot of money.
Overpaid. But I would say that the Vikings.
Oh wait, we haven't even gone over their defense yet. Who they signed? Javon Hargrave. I know that name. He's okay, I think.
Yeah.
Byron Murphy re-signed.
Yeah. Byron Murphy, he's all right. I mean, 3 year, $66 million.
That's a lot.
Oh man.
Harrison Smith came out of retirement for
yeah.
I mean,
for NFL season, bro.
Yeah, he's still decent, I think. Right?
Yeah, he's been pretty good, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a fine signing too. I think we're probably it's gonna be another year where we just doubt the Vikings and they're gonna show out. But
I don't know though, because they don't seem like they are too trusting.
We said the same thing last year.
No, they don't seem like they trust JJ McCarthy though.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to. I mean, we'll obviously have to see, but
considering Aaron Rodgers, they're considering signing Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah, that's rough. But where do we rank the Vikings offseason so far, though?
I would say C.
I would say above the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think that they did pretty decent. They have a lot of good additions, just overpaid a few, and
I mean
that's free C for you, but that is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now on to the Atlanta Falcons. They have made a couple moves. Nothing crazy, I don't think.
No.
Nothing.
They haven't really like Leonard Floyd is a decent edge.
And Divine Diablo is solid too, right?
Yeah.
He had a good card in Madden. That's all I know.
He's okay.
But that's really it in terms of big names.
Yeah, I don't think they really had a great great free agency
Yeah,
here, but
they're. I don't know. I feel like they're another team that they're in that weird spot where they're like they don't have too much to like that's like needed
yeah,
because and they had one of the best offensive lines in the league. Defensively, they had some of the better players. They did lose a few defensive guys though,
yeah.
and I think I don't know. Maybe another C tier. Just
I'd
kind
say.
of we'll go bottom of C tier.
You just don't know really where they're where
Yeah,
they're like
they're in a
what
weird
they
spot.
need. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
now onto the Carolina Panthers, and when you talk about overpaying, I don't know if this would be necessarily overpaying, but they paid J.C. Horn $100 million 4-year extension, making him the highest paid defensive back of all time.
I do think that's an overpay because I don't think he is the best defensive back
No,
in the league.
and he's
But
I mean, he's good, but like
I think that there's
there's better.
at least two better, but
Sauce Gardner and Surtain defensive player of the year.
I mean, I wouldn't put Sauce Gardner. Honestly, after this year, I would say Sauce Gardner is below Jalen Johnson.
Oh, I forgot
But-
Jalen Johnson exists. Yeah, my bad.
because Sauce just doesn't have the tackling ability that Jalen has. But
Yeah, but we're talking about the Panthers. Let's do that.
Yeah, anyway.
They signed a Rico Dowdle.
Rico Dowdle, I think, is actually a steal.
I think
it's
for
a
$6
steal.
million too. It's a solid 1-year deal.
He had over 1,000 yards on an awful Dallas Cowboys rushing team.
Yeah, so I mean he should be good because their run game was actually really solid last year,
Yeah.
despite them not winning games. They re-signed Andy Dalton. He's a great backup. I think that's
Yeah, I think that's
good
I think
move.
so too. It's a great move. I think that the Panthers are deserving of a B here. I think
I do as well. They signed a couple of O linemen, keeping it relatively cheap there. Mike Jackson, I think I know that name. Oh yeah, I know that name. He's playing the Seahawks.
yeah. So I think that they did a decent job here.
Yeah.
I think that, and Tommy Tremble is a decent tight end.
Yeah,
He did get
we'll
knocked out.
put him. We'll put him. Yeah, we'll put him
But
middle of B tier. You know, they nothing crazy, but they're definitely still in a rebuilding phase. So you kind of gotta give them time. But
Yeah.
and also their owner's horrible.
yeah.
But they're looking better.
Yep.
I-
so now we have
The Saints, a team that, oh man,
just cap space, like is
cap
just
space
non-existent.
hell right now.
Yeah, yeah. So they convinced Cam Jordan to return, so he will be back.
15th
Chase
season,
Young,
what a guy.
Chase Young signed a 3-year, $57 million deal.
Max value 57, yeah. So he's getting paid too.
He's getting paid a lot of money to be an okay edge.
Yeah, Justin Reed, they signed him too from the Chiefs, right?
Yeah,
Which
I
he's-
don't know where they got the money for this
No.
guy, but
But hey, he's not on the Chiefs anymore. They're losing a big piece on defense, so I'm happy about that.
so he's going to play next to actually another former Chief that he was signed to the Chiefs to replace.
So, I mean, yeah,
Tyron Matthew.
Saints defense is looking better. I guess they're decent. They really didn't make any crazy. They just re-signed a few people. Their
I would
off,
give it- yeah,
their offense, they
I would
didn't do anything either. I mean, I think just
I would say that they're more of a C tier.
yeah,
C tier.
they're just middle of the pack. C tier just kind of made no changes. They're just kind of re-signed, maybe an improvement or two, but nothing
Yeah.
crazy. Now the Bucks, right? The Bucks. I don't actually really know anything that they've done this offseason. I don't think too much.
They re-signed Godwin.
Yeah, re-signed Godwin.
They got
Hassan Reddick's actually really good. I do like
yeah,
that signing.
they re-signed Levante David. So I think that they had a decent offseason. I think that they would be in the C tier too, but
I want to go low B
low B.
because I think
I would agree.
keeping Godwin and Hassan Reddick are really big for them.
I think the impressive thing is that they kept Godwin when he was getting offered.
You can offer a
Like,
lot, right?
He was getting offered like millions more dollars to go to New England.
My guess
re-signed.
is, from what I understand, that the culture in Tampa Bay is like unmatched.
Yeah,
There's, like-
but also too in New England taxes are higher, this, that, and the other thing. So
Yeah, makes sense.
like not as nice.
And you're not playing with a proven quarterback. You're playing with a rookie or a second-year guy. I would rather play with Baker, anyways.
Yeah.
Now on to the final division, my division, and we're starting off with none other than the Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
Now the Cardinals, I think they've had a pretty good offseason.
I think so too. Kelvin Beachum, I don't know if he's Isn't he good? I think he's a re-signing. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but
But I like the signing of Josh Sweat. I think they actually got him for a steal.
74
Um,
for yeah. I mean that's pretty. That's not terrible. He's good. He's really good. And 4
yeah.
years, less than 20 million a year is
Yeah, I think that was like I was expecting over $20 million a year. I mean, he had more time on the field than Milton Williams, and Milton Williams got $20 million a year. So
yeah.
I think that he actually got us that he actually signed a contract that was worth less than what I expected. So
So it's just good. I mean,
yeah,
they
good
take
for
that.
him. He's got that.
They signed Jacoby Brissett. It's just, I mean, he's a
Yeah,
backup. He's not going to start, but
yeah,
backup
he's a
to
decent.
Kyler. He's a decent backup. He's becoming the I said his name earlier. I'm forgetting who it is. Wow, I can't think of him. He's like the guy who's been a backup on every team in the league.
Um, Tyrod Taylor,
Yeah, he's becoming the Tyrod Taylor of backups right
or,
now.
or like
No, no.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick. No, that's Josh Dobbs. He's just on every team now.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah,
This was something else though.
yeah, these guys are. I mean, yeah, Cardinals did decent.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not happy to see it because they're in my division and they were like, honestly, last year, aside from they're the other good team that's not the Rams. The 49ers are bad, but I'm thinking I want to say
I would say yeah,
high
high
B
B.
or A, because
I would say high B.
yeah,
I
because
think
they
that
fixed what they had or needed fixed, but yeah, we'll go
yeah,
high B, really high B, close to A. Now we're looking at
yeah,
here the Rams, right?
yep.
Now the
I think that's
Rams, they
fantastic.
they've had a good offseason. Pretty good
I mean,
offseason.
they re-signed Alaric Jackson, which is one of the better tackles in the league. They got Tutu Atwell back, and they signed Devontae Adams, and I think that's huge for Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, because he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and having
I
a
agree.
true, I'm saying true wide receiver one like he has had Cooper Cup for the past few years, but since they lost Cooper Cup, Devontae Adams is a very good, you know,
Yeah.
replacement, and Tutu Atwell is a solid third string guy.
Yep.
And I mean, they signed Jimmy G to 1 year. I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah. I
Stafford
would say
restructured his contract too. That's interesting.
yeah. Well, that was because that was the whole reason there was trade talks because
Yeah,
they didn't want to pay him all that. But
but hey, I mean, yeah, it's solid. Not. I wouldn't. I think just low B.
yeah, I would say low B like high C.
Yeah, we'll go low B. And then a team that I think has had just a tremendously horrible offseason
Yeah.
is the 49ers, right? They've
Let
signed Mac Jones. They've signed Demarcus Robinson.
Yeah, Demarcus Robinson's good. I
He is
like
good. Yeah,
Demarcus.
no, I like him too. But that's it. And Trey Brown, I think,
Yeah,
is a decent name too. Maybe. I don't know. He didn't get paid much. But when you look at
yeah,
who they lost, their entire defense,
yeah. They lost a lot,
some of their own
and they
linemen.
used too. So
Yeah, it's
um,
just they lost so much more than they got back.
yeah, I
That
don't know how they're gonna recover from this.
yeah, I'm gonna go F, right? Not because they did
Uh,
bad in their signings like these two, but because of how much they've lost and retain or failed to retain, right?
yeah,
Like their defense, I want to say is gonna suck next year. Like they're gonna have Robert Saleh as their DC, which I think is good. I think he's gonna be
yeah.
phenomenal if he had the
It
pieces.
sucks for Robert Saleh because he is inheriting probably the worst defensive situation again.
Yeah,
He's done it multiple times now.
because you're looking at it right. Their defensive studs were Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner, Shavarius Ward, some of their D linemen. All those guys are gone, other than Fred Warner. It's
Yeah,
insane.
it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah. Now the Seahawks. This has been I've started more recently following football, and this has been just a pain getting Lockett released and DK requesting a trade within the same day, within the same hour. That hurt. And then, I mean, I don't know. We're okay. I think our signings have been solid for what they are. We've re-signed Ernest Jones, which is actually huge because when he came on there, our defense was phenomenal with him. And 3 years, $11 million a year, that's a steal. Because he turned our defense to one of the best in the league, and he's going to be the head of our defense. Re-signed Jaron Reed, That's
DeMarcus Lawrence is your best signing.
yeah. I think like the actual true signing. Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence. That was our big issue on defense was our edge rushing, and we got DeMarcus Lawrence, who when he's healthy, he's very good. So,
Yeah.
I mean, assuming he stays healthy, our
Yeah.
defense is stacked.
And he's been record-wise a healthy player. I think
Yeah.
last year though
He
was
yeah, I saw a thing was like he played 4 games, had like 3 sacks, like 15 tackles. Like that's really good in 4 games.
good.
Yeah, I'll take that. And what we paid him, how much? 3 year, 40. Yeah, that's fine. 18 million guaranteed. Yeah, that's nothing. But like obviously the biggest signing of the Seahawks is Sam Darnold, 3 year, $100.5 million deal. You know, so 37.5 million in year one, 55 million guaranteed. So I think it's front loaded, which is okay. But
That's the best way to have it. But if it's backloaded, I would be pretty questionable. I think that would be a pretty questionable signing.
yeah, but I mean, I'm okay with the Sam Darnold signing because like last year it was either a breakout season or a fluke, right? I needed it to be a breakout season, and then MVS, he's a solid. He's an okay wide receiver. He's going to be a 2. I hope we sign Cooper Kupp or someone else or draft a guy.
On a good team, he's like a 3 or 4.
Yeah, on a good team, he's an okay 3.
On a good team, he's on the bench. Okay.
He's on the bench. Yeah, but I mean, we were desperate for receivers, and Cooper Kupp's a free. Just sign Cooper Kupp. That would make sense. We signed an offensive tackle too, Josh Jones. Is he good? I don't recognize the name.
Josh Jones. I don't think he is.
Oh, okay.
4.75. He's probably a depth piece.
Yeah, in all fairness, our line was terrible, so who cares? At this point, we just need someone. Even though our inside is what we really need, so I don't understand that. I'm gonna give them an S tier because no, I'm kidding. I couldn't do that. I mean, we've retained the biggest defensive pieces, gotten DeMarcus Lawrence, which is huge. I just think the fact that our offense, other than we have a quarterback and running backs and one wide receiver, our line is mediocre. Our other receivers don't, and Jake Bobo's the GOAT. But other than him, they don't exist. Our defense is stacked. I think our defense is going to be one of the best in the league next year, considering it was this year. And I'm just gonna I want to go low C or high C. I don't think offensively we've done enough to warrant anything higher.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, 57? Wow, that's an hour long.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this, if you watched this far, thank you. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But
A lot of yapping.
yeah, but if you did, thank you. We appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, this is our final ranking. We got the Bears in S tier, which I think, I mean, I don't think anyone can argue that they're anything lower than A. At least maybe you could make an argument for A, but we're going S. And
but okay, you got to think S tier is probably the team that had the best free agency right now, and I'd say that the Bears did.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense for S to only have one, and I would say in terms of improving what they needed, they're the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this is our final ranking. I'll scroll through a little bit if you want to look at it, whatnot. But yeah, I mean, if you disagree with any of this, let us know why. If you agree, I think we made our points clear on all of them. Why they are where they are. So I mean, argue with us.
You made it this far.
Yeah, tell them what to do.
You made it this far. Like, comment, and subscribe, because it would be a disservice to yourself to not do that.
It would.
You watched 52 minutes of two guys yapping on YouTube.
What are you doing?
Now it's So like, comment, subscribe. Give us some feedback.
Yeah, because we'll do this again.
Yeah, sometime we'll do this again.
We're probably gonna
do better too.
Yeah, we're gonna do another one of these like after the draft and probably at the end of the offseason too.
So yeah, we'll see how everything goes. But anyways, we enjoyed doing this. We hope that you guys enjoyed, and like, comment, subscribe, like I said, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. Later.